We will be recording. We will be recording the actual call today, so this will be available on our website, just like all the other homebuyer webinars we've done over the past year. And we are asking that you stay on mute. Your lines were automatically muted coming into the meeting. And feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions today. It is monitored, and we will be joining. So first and foremost, a good morning to Shanaki and Lena. I appreciate the good morning and welcome everyone to the call. This is our May edition of the Homebuyer webinar for Michigan First Mortgage. My name is Dan Sugg, and I am the Chief Mortgage Lending Officer here and responsible for everything mortgage at the credit union. I'm located here at Evergreen, right behind the coffee bar if you've been here in the branch. And we are excited today to bring you a topic around home buying, of course, they're all related, but how much home can I afford? So my job is to run you through the agenda, get us into the introductions. Zareen, so if you could advance the slide, there you go. So our agenda today will be, of course, introductions, which we'll do in a second. And then we're going to talk about how much house can I afford? And there's really a faceted topic if you think about it. There's so many things that go into the process of figuring that out, not only income and assets, but also areas and the current climate and economic climates that go into that too. And we're going to spend the bulk of our time, once we get through introductions, talking about tips and tricks on learning about that topic. And then we'll end the last 5 minutes with our closing, and hopefully if we have some time for Q&A. But again, best to put your questions actually in the chat box. So Zareen, if I could have the next slide, please. So I'd love to welcome Robert Eaves, Bob Eaves. Bob and I have known each other for many years in this industry. And Bob recently, not too long ago, joined us here at Michigan First Mortgage and brought his wealth of knowledge. So Bob, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you bring to our membership.
Well, thank you, Dan. I have had the pleasure of knowing Dan for many years, been in the industry for over 30 years. Greatest joy that I get in the job is to help our members enjoy the benefits of home ownership. It's the best thing somebody can enjoy. And I like to take the time to educate, train, work with as a team to get them into their home.
Yeah, Bob, and you have in the time that you've been here at Michigan First Mortgage through one of our locations really resonated with our member, and we appreciate everything you do for them. And certainly I think you're going to have a lot to share today and a lot of knowledge in all those years to tell us what we need to know. So with that, I want to turn it to TJ Francisco from Francisco Real Estate. TJ, thank you for joining us today. And if you would, I know you work a little bit with Bob. If you would take some time and tell us about what you do, where you're at, and a little bit about yourself and your company.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? Is my audio good?
Yeah. Yep.
Good. Okay, great. Yeah, I've been serving people in the Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne County here for 17 years. It's just been an honor to help people out. The American dream of home ownership is alive and well here in this country, and everyone should have that opportunity, as Bob has mentioned here. So very important, as Bob said, to hook in your wagon to a couple professionals that have your best interests in mind, who educate you and have like a heart of a teacher, that aren't here to sell you, but to see that you get your goals accomplished and you're happy with your home and your family, and you're in a happy, safe place. So that's what we're here to help you out with here today.
Yeah, and I always like to remind our members that buying a home and getting a mortgage is just like a marriage. You're entering into an agreement with somebody. It's a partnership, and it's a big decision. It's a 30-year commitment in most cases, and you want to make sure you get that right. Certainly, we take great pride in building home ownership and realizing the dream, and we do realize that it's a privilege, not a right. You have to earn that privilege to own a home, and part of that is shopping for it too. So I want to jump right into the meat of our call today. We have some prearranged topics here we'd like to talk about. So I'm going to start, let's start with TJ today. So TJ, we have several members, actually tons of members on the line today. Where should they start that buying process? What do you think is the first thing they should do?
Yeah, the first thing is just to reach out. We're here for you, and that is what we're here for. We're here to listen to what you have to say and listen to what you have as goals. And then again, like I mentioned, you're building a team here. I'm on the real estate portion of that team, Bob is your lending team where he's going to custom fit your financials and what you can afford, and just make sure that it's a good plan for you, that you're not overextending yourself. And once we put those pieces together, we want to sit down with you and just make sure that we're, finding those right properties, that we're putting you into those homes or seeing the homes that will, make your life better, you and your families.
Yeah, so may I reiterate, find those partners, somebody you model match with, people like TJ and Bob that are going to be on your side through this process. Not just showing you homes that they want to sell, but really matching your criteria and having the conversation. So as we go through the call today, members, think about, as you begin this process, if you're doing it for the first time or thinking about buying another home, what those questions are that are important to you, size, style, location, all those, and make sure you keep those notes. So Bob, I'm going to jump over to you. So if a member comes to you and says, I want to think about buying a house, what's the first thing you're going to tell them to do?
First thing I encourage them to do is know that, like you said, Dan, it's going to be a process. By the time they go to TJ, I want them in a position to be the best strength possible to find the house that they want. So I think it's important. I always encourage the member to sit down, meet face to face, email, whatever works best for them. But the strength of the pre-approval, I think, is crucial. And I think we underestimate the need to get our documentation, to get the W-2s, to get the tax returns, asset statements for 2 months, credit. Quite often with the members, it's a work in progress. Sometimes we're spot on when we meet. Other times there's things that we have to work on, be it increasing the amount that we have for down payment, closing costs, and prepaid. What can we use for income? Are you self-employed? Are we relying on bonuses, commission, those kinds of things? So I think it's so important to get the strength of the file, all assets that we can verify whether we're using them or not, but to get them in a position so they have some flexibility. In this market, if you want a house for 150, you may need to go up to 200 because TJ can't find any house that meets your needs in 150. So it's making sure we're in good shape. But the important thing is for us to work together, like you said, as a team, get our documentation, make sure we are looking at everything. So by the time you do get a house, we're in a good position. We're trying to eliminate the rabbit holes or the problems that we might run into down the road.
Yeah, and Bob is a professional. So when he talks about getting your documentation, it's not just what you need to get qualified. It's looking beyond that and making sure there isn't anything out there that may have a question. And rest assured, no matter what shape your past history of credit has been, we have an opportunity to work with everyone. It just sometimes is a little bit more work or a little bit quicker than maybe you even imagined. In all of his years, Bob has seen just about every scenario. So certainly thinking about that. So TJ, back to you. So I know, listen, we've been challenged now for going on 2 years, maybe a little over 2 years in the real estate market for a number of reasons, most lately, rates have risen a little bit given on what's going on in the economy. So tell me, what's the current market look like from a real estate perspective?
Yeah, so the market's controlled by inventory, the amount of inventory, basically, right? So if you have, 100 buyers looking in a particular area and there's 5 houses, that's going to be a problem because the competition is just intense this year. As far as what's happening is people are so motivated and so aggressive on the bidding when these houses come out. The sticker price is rarely ever the sticker price. What I mean by that is a $200,000 house, when it all is done and said for, is probably more like a $225,000, $230,000 house. And that's what Bob had mentioned too, that we have to have you approved right, because what you're getting into is it's almost like a dogfight, to be real simple for it. You have people hungry, you have people aggressive and super motivated because they need a place to live. And when you add all that together, the bidding process and the homes are going for well over asking price. So this is a market where you need to be all in or all out, so to speak, on my side, because you can't tiptoe through and kind of take it casually. You have to it's something it's probably not going to be the easiest process just because of inventory issues. So it's a challenge, and that's why more than ever we need to sit down and make sure we understand your goals and we understand what you can be approved up to or afford, because it's pretty volatile, to be real honest with you. I don't want to discourage anybody. I still think, you know, there can be success had in this market, but it's a tricky and a difficult market just because the lack of inventory simply.
Yeah, and we have seen, you know, I was in Washington, D.C. at an advocacy conference on behalf of the mortgage industry about 3 weeks ago. And the numbers that I saw, there were really two that I'll share. One was a normal 6-month inventory of homes is where a healthy real estate market is. 6 months of sales on the for sale sheet. And today we're less than a month. And that number, at least 3 weeks ago, that number should be 5 million homes, and we're less than 1 million for sale in the nation. So, and I think that's a little indicative of what's going on. But I will tell you that you are in the right place as members and thinking about you should own a home, because a homeowner to a renter has 40 times the net worth. Just think about that for a second. Has 40 times the net worth more just by owning a home. So pretty powerful statement when you think about that, when you start talking about building generational wealth. So thanks, TJ. I'm going to slide back to Bob. So Bob, we've talked about getting pre-approved and the tough market. So we need to get up front and understand the programs and the terms of the loan. So talk to me a little bit about what's available to us today.
Okay, we've got a wide range of products. We can go with conventional, FHA, rural development, VA, MISHTA, new construction draw loans, wide variety of loans. So I think, like we had talked about, Dan, TJ, as a member wants to pursue home ownership, we sit down. There is no reason for us to predetermine what product is available. It's best to determine what the member has to work with for down payment. I think in meeting with the member, we'll look at down payment on a $100,000 house. You can go in with a conventional at 3% down, but we also have to look at the other incidental costs. First year homeowners insurance, first year property taxes, appraisal, closing costs, prepaid. So for a $100,000 house, I know that is a low example, but it's an easy number to work with. The $3,000 down payment, really depending upon the property taxes and homeowners insurance, could be $7,000 to $10,000 that the member wants to save up with. So that's my job, to put them in a position. What do we have? Do we have the money in savings? We need to verify it for 2 months. Do we have gift from relatives available? Do we have a 401k available? It's important also on a 401k, are we looking at withdrawing those funds in a loan or a withdrawal? So we have to look at debt to income. We have to look at what our assets are, but how we are taking those assets, and we want to make sure they're liquid and available. So it's important for me to determine what the maximum amount the member has to work with, whether we're going to use that or not, from their own source of funds or gifts, as we talked about. But it's important to overlook the whole package to know what we have to work with if we need to.
Yeah. And there was a question while we were running in there about minimum credit scores. So Serene was very nice to put in there that 620 on conventional and FHA and VA and 640 on MISHTA. I will remind everyone that at Michigan First, we do have a turning point product, which is set up for those of us that, you know, you had something occur in your life and you've recovered from it, but you're still struggling on the credit side. Come talk to us. We do have a portfolio program. Sometimes you'll need a little larger down payment, but it is available to people that have turned the corner and kind of rebuilt. And for those of us that are in the business, I want to make sure that USDA is a government type program. Of course, FHA and VA is for veterans. MISHTA is the Michigan State Housing Authority program. And if that's something you think you want to learn more about, we do have a couple of webinars already recorded out there about that you can watch. Really great program depending on where and what size of home you want to buy. And they did remove recently the income limits or the asset limits on those too. So, all right, Bob, thank you so much for that. I think that's, you know, knowing what products are out there. Again, get with a professional and understand what your options are. It just isn't 20% down anymore. There are many programs that you can use. So back to TJ. So what type of offers are winning in this market? You talked about how tough it was. We've seen some Mission deals go through and we've seen some other deals go through. So talk to us a little bit about what's going on in your world.
Yeah, so offers itself, we always talk about, when I sit down and talk to the clients, we talk about days on market for housing. The new houses that are, remodeled and beautiful, move-in ready, more times than not, we can almost expect there's going to be multiple offers. And like I mentioned earlier, the price isn't the price. I mean, you may have to bid up to, $20, $30, $40,000 over. And not only that, but the sticky point is the people with cash are controlling the market on the new ones that are on the market here recently. For instance, let's again, $100,000 house might be bid up to 120, but on top of that, why they're getting their offers accepted, they're giving a $10,000 appraisal guarantee. And what that means, if the appraisal comes in low on the house, the value, they're going to come up with cash and just bridge the gap with a short appraisal with the value of their offer. So to go backwards just for a second, the bank, Michigan First, will have to send out an appraiser to justify the value of the home before giving the loan. And a lot of times how aggressive it is, everything's getting bid up and the appraiser might not give the full value of what your offer is. So then people know this and they're giving cash to bridge that gap. So you have people who have a lot of cash because they sold the home or dipping into their 401k those are the people who are being successful, unfortunately, unless you're looking for something that might be on the market more than 7 days. 7 days is kind of the magic number or gold nugget number. If it's past 7 days on market, you might not be caught up in that feeding frenzy where you're going to have to send a offer way over asking with an appraisal guarantee. So these are the little things we have to talk about because there are some tricks, and I wouldn't say secrets, but there's some things you need to know. We need to educate you about, because just again, walking into this market thinking you're going to put in an offer at price is going to be a bit of a challenge. I got to be honest with you. So again, start with the professionals. We'll lead you there. We'll make sure we get you, your goals accomplished here.
Yeah, looking for a home, it reminds me, we're almost like fishing right now, right? If you really want to catch fish, you got to get a guide. You got to get a professional person to come with you and show you where to put the pole and what we're looking for, what tips and tricks we're looking for. So I think that point was well taken. Bob, back to you. Let's talk about importance of down payment. I know we talked about the different programs, but what is the source and what's important about a down payment you wanted to speak to?
I think the crucial part of that is to verify how much we have to work with, have to have some skin in the game, and have we had it verified for at least 60 days. Every day I talk to members, they have cash at home, and literally cash at home. The thing that we need to verify is where the funds have been for 60 days. Now, when I say that, you could have a deposit made 2 weeks ago, and that's fine as long as I can verify. We call it sourcing the deposit. So if you sold something, you sold a vehicle, you would want a copy of the bill of sale. You would want a copy of the title. Just keeping documentation. I always encourage my members, as you make a big deposit, make a copy of the check. Keep that for your record so you can give that to me. So that's where we communicate throughout the process. So the importance of the down payment is, I think quite often we think, okay, I saved enough for my down payment, 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever you want. But we also have to look at what is over on the top of the down payment. So like TJ had said, very important that we know that when the member goes to TJ, they have enough for down payment, be it the 3% conventional, 3.5 FHA, plus property taxes. Property taxes can vary. We'll often talk to TJ, what are the property taxes on the property? Are they $1,200, $2,400, $3,600? Big difference. Homeowners insurance costs have gone up. So we have to verify we have enough for that. We look at the strength of the file. I would like to show that the member has enough for down payment, closing costs, prepaid items, which again are property taxes, homeowners insurance, closing costs, title company fees, appraisal, those kinds of things. but also, do we have any extra if TJ is going to have to put in an appraisal guarantee? Very
Yeah.
critical. So verifying where the down payment is, but also, even more importantly, the other costs. Do we have reserves? Do we have money that we can draw on from family members, 401k, other assets that we might not use? I still like to verify all monies that we have available, even if we're not using them for the transaction.
Yeah, and I will remind you, not everyone has a rich uncle or a dad that
Correct.
can help them out or a mom that can help them out. So there are grants that are starting to come available. We're starting to see more and more of that now. So certainly look around, and MISH is a great option too for some of our members also.
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
we got tons of topics and we're running out of time here. So I want to run through. So what type of buyers? I know we talked about being successful in today's market. So what, I mean, outside of cash buyers, let's assume not everybody has cash. What other types of buyers are being successful in today's market?
It's the buyers that are being aggressive. It's like anything else in life. Whatever you put into it, you'll get out of it. So if you're seeing a house once a week, I mean, what's the odds of that? I mean, you need to get out there, be aggressive, see houses, place offers. I keep telling people who I'm working with currently, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith in the process. The market here in Michigan is seasonal. Now, if you're somebody who, may just be getting started out, you want to participate in the volatile market, I keep telling people, let's revisit in mid-August. You think about it, people who have children, they go back to school Labor Day. So those people are going to be out of the market here for the most part here within another like 2 or 3 months. So if it's something where you're kind of getting warm to the fact of getting into the market, let's talk to Bob or I, let's get a game plan. Let's get your pre-approval going, and let's get going here in the next few months, because the market will slow down more than likely. I can't guarantee it, not clearly, but more than likely it is seasonal, and we're going to hit around Labor Day and things are going to begin to slow down here for you. So if this is something that you're interested in, let's start to talk, and let's put a game plan together for the next few months so we can get you in and be successful here, and hopefully not have to compete in this volatile market here within the next 2 to 3 months here.
Yeah, somebody earlier asked, is there a way that somebody is thinking about buying a house, not in the next 3 months, but maybe in the next year or two? Is it worth working on now? And I would say, heck yeah, get in and build the connection and certainly get the information and get ready, because you just never know. Things happen for reasons, and markets, when they turn, will turn pretty quick. When all of a sudden a house, you mentioned before 7 days being kind of the golden nugget. I can remember not that long ago that 30 days on a market was pretty normal, like 30, 45 days, like don't panic. But it's kind of funny because I have seen homes that have been on the days for 7, 8 days and you see a price cut almost immediately, so people feel like, well, I've overpriced. So, I'm going to come right back to you. So, and this is a general question, TJ, but in your opinion, do you think it's the right time to purchase? What's your opinion on that?
That's for each and every buyer out there to make that decision for themselves. Ultimately, I go back to what I said earlier. It's a market where you have to be all in or all out. You can't be casual in this market. It's just too competitive. So that's up to you. People who have to buy, they need a home. Yes, this market's probably for you, but we have to talk about strategy, what plays into that. So if this is the first time you want to buy, as I mentioned earlier, maybe you just want to wait it out for another couple months rather than paying a premium of 10, 20, 30 grand overprice. Maybe if you can hold out for another 3, 4 months, then we start talking about paying a right around price. Again, these are all speculations. You never know how things are going to play out. But that is the tendencies in this real estate market is right around Labor Day is when things begin to cool and relax a little bit here for you. So to go back and answer your question again, all based upon personal goals and what you need, we can custom fit that for you. So let's start a conversation and let's see if this is the right time for you.
Yeah. You can never do the work too early, I think, for sure. So we are getting close. And I talked to you, TJ, about what the first buyer should do in the process. What should a buyer do before entering into this market? Did you already cover that? Do you think we've
Well, I'll just cover real quick again. Let's talk. Conversations are free, and hopefully they're educational. That allows me to educate you and help you with the process. And then once we get talking, I'm always holding hands with Bob. If that's the right thing to say. and we can talk and have you speak to him for another free conversation and see where that may line up for you and have him educate you and point you in the right direction. Because again, you're building the team. I can help you with the real estate side, but without Bob putting the pieces together with the financials, we can't do much other than just talk about how pretty houses are and talk a little bit about your goals.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great analogy. Talk is free. It is. And that opening conversation is priceless, though. I will tell you that understanding where you're at and where you want to be is really important. So we're at that closing time. So we're going to run through our 3 points from each of our speakers today around what the number 3, 1, 2, and 3 things they want you to remember about our conversation. So let's start with Bob.
Yes, I think the first thing is obtain a pre-qualification, pre-approval. Like Dan, TJ said, you can never start soon enough. Whether you're looking to buy now, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, start the conversation now. We work as a team. We work on the real estate end with TJ, financing with me. Learn your options. There are so many loan options out there. It could be conventional, FHA, VA, just countless options. So speak with the professionals to get a good game plan. Are we where we need to be? What do we need to do to get to that point? Save money. Cash is king, cash is queen. You want to be in a position where we have hopefully more money than we need for the transaction. If TJ has to get into an appraisal guarantee, do we have that money?
Great. So, and I would tell you that pre-qualification conversation is, like I said, is never too early to happen. So, and there are always options. No matter what your situation is today, there is a way for us to create a path. Sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's 2 years to get back. But there are ways for every situation to get out, even if you've had a bankruptcy or BK. So, TJ, from your standpoint, what are the 3 steps you want our members to take away?
Yeah, let's just start with, you have the interest there. You need a place, let's talk. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your family. Let's talk what you're looking for. Let's talk about your timeframes. You go to the doctor to help you figure things out. We're kind of doing the same thing. We just want to have a conversation. Let's figure this out. How can we get you to your goals? How can we get you from A to B and educate you and serve you in the process here? We're not trying to sell you. Your success is our success. When you are successful, we are successful. So it all starts with you. It all starts with you being successful. And we need to have that conversation on what we need to do and where you're trying to go with, your goals, so to speak. So let's talk and we'll figure that out. We'll point you in the right direction, basically.
Awesome. Well, listen, you guys both did a great job today. We really appreciate you jumping on the call. For you on the call, there was some questions about contact information. For anything regarding these seminars, format, where to find stuff, please use Mortgage Seminars at Michigan First. From contacting one of our loan officers, certainly you can call Bob directly. His numbers are there and his email address. Or you can jump on our website /mortgage and see all of the team here, myself included. And at any time, 365, 24 hours a day, you can call our 365 Live Center and choose mortgage and speak with one of our qualified members. Even at 2 a.m, you'll get a hold of somebody that'll talk mortgage with you. So I want to thank you both again very much for attending. Thank you all on the call for coming. And please get out and enjoy this glorious sunshine today. And if you're ready to buy a home, these are the guys you want to talk to. So thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks, TJ.
Thanks, guys.